So you're good to go.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody, to joining us in this webinar. I welcome all of you to the webinar series of Skill Council for Green Jobs. This is the 67th webinar in this series. In fact, we as Sector Skill Council decided to celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav as organizing a series of webinars. The webinar was inaugurated by our chairman, Mr. Samir Gupta, who is also the chairman of Jackson Group of Industries. Then we moved to different topics in these webinars and celebrated once again 60th webinar as by way of making a panel discussion on green hydrogen, which is the most important topic these days. We are very happy that we have today with us Mr. Vikas Arya, who is Vice President in Jackson Group of Industries. And he's present on a very important day, that is World Sustainable Energy Day, which talks of this year, which talks of energy transition. Energy is equal to energy security, which is a very, very innovative concept. In fact, all of us as part of our country, we are moving to energy transition. The entire world is moving towards energy transition, and we are looking at sustainable development and following sustainable development goals. Green energy, which is normally said to be the energy generated from renewable energy sources or non-fossil fuel based energy sources, is becoming an important milestone for that. And new announcement of green hydrogen is a part of this. So I would like to stop here because we have to hear Mr. Vikas Arya, who is Associate Vice President, Project Strategy and Marketing in Jackson Group of Industries. Mr. PB Singh, will you be introducing the speaker? Okay. Abhishek, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, sir. Here I am extremely delighted to be the moderator for the afternoon session and address you all. Before we carry on with the events, I would give my regards and appreciation to the audience, especially Saxena sir, who is presenting on the screen, Arpit ji, PB Singh, and the SCGJ team, who made this occasion a reality and this event successful. Again, I would like to welcome Mr. Vikas Arya ji. He is the Associate Vice President, Product Strategy and Marketing in Solar Business. Overall, he has the 27 years of professional experience in the power sector, handling various projects. So on this note, I am requesting him to start the session and share his insightful experience and knowledge to the audience. Vikas sir, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Abhishek. Sorry. So good afternoon, everybody. Am I audible?
Vikas, sir, you're audible.
Yes, please, go ahead. Yeah.
Now your video is not visible.
I'm just switching on my video.
Sure, sir.
It is not working. Oh, it's okay now.
Yes, sir.
So once again, a warm, good afternoon to everybody. So, I take this opportunity to, take you through the solar power, how that is going to play a major role in the sustainability goal that we are, going to, and we are celebrating this Sustainable Energy Day. So I will just, go through a brief presentation about sustainability and, cover something on the solar power specifically, for which is, very, very important part in meeting this sustainability requirements. So this screen is visible to all?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So the screen is visible, sir?
Vikas, sir, you're good to go. The screen is visible, sir. You're good to go.
So, we are celebrating this World Sustainable Energy Day, which was, 27th of February. 28th. It was celebrated 27th, now it is 28th. Okay. So how, the landmark about this is, the seed was sown around 10 years back when the, UN climate change on the Paris Agreement, the initial discussion started. It was almost a decade back. So the final agreement, which was signed by 196 countries in the Paris Agreement. So there the commitment was, to limit the global temperature rise to below 2 degrees Celsius over the pre-industrial period. We all have seen the climate change that has happened, and I think we are seeing it day in and day out in the newspaper as well. So what is happening across the globe? So this is what is already predicted, a couple of years back. And when, all the countries came together to work towards this, need for the saving the planet. And another, commitment from the countries is now to reduce it to 1.5 by end of the century. So this is something which, everybody across the globe is trying to work on, but it's a long way to go. Now, when you talk about sustainable energy means we are talking about our secure future. We all need power for our day-to-day requirements, but getting that power without affecting the environment, that is the challenge. So that is where this clean power using renewable energy sources, come in very, very useful. So when we talk about renewable, primarily it talks about solar, wind, geothermal, and hydropower. But of course, there are other renewable or other sources which are there, which are being, known and being used. Biomass is one of them. So these are the typically 4 renewable energy sources which are being, very well established now and useful for the environment in meeting the power requirement. And in the process, we also have to reduce our dependency on the fossil fuels. So maybe, since I'm in the power sector for last 27 years, so I've seen how these thermal power plants came up, one after the other as the, industrialization was happening. So a lot of thermal power plants we have seen which were outside the cities when they were built, but today they are in the center of the cities in most of the places. Whether it is Rajghat Powerhouse in Delhi, which is one of the live example. So this is, something which is affecting very badly the climate and also, a lot of pollution in the atmosphere. So this is one of the reasons we have to reduce the dependency on fossil fuels. So what will be the impact when we go for this sustainable energy? So it is going to have a positive impact on the environment. It is going to help us in reducing the climate change effect. And also it provides us energy security. We are going to preserve our resources as well as price control. So today, renewable energy source is one of the cheapest source of power. So when we're talking about this, we means we're talking about energy transition and energy security. So I represent Jackson Group. I am with Jackson Group for last 8 years, part of the solar division in Jackson. So at Jackson, who are we? We are basically a 75-year-old company. So as we celebrate 75th year of Amrit Mahotsav or 75 years of Indian independence, so at Jackson, we are celebrating 75 years of our existence and serving our customers. So today we have more than 50,000 happy customers with us who have been using Jackson products and services. We have more than 5,000 professionals. And, in the solar sector, if we talk about specifically, we are in the entire spectrum, right from the manufacturing to EPC projects, providing O&M, and one of the most integrated solar companies of India. So that is what, Jackson is known for. And, I don't know if both of you, all of you know or not know, the very core purpose of the organization, Jackson Group. This is a tagline, why we exist overall Jackson as a company. So we want to enhance the quality of life of all the stakeholders by creating a sustainable organization. So that is the motto of Jackson, and we are very closely working towards it. And this particular topic of sustainability is very close to our hearts. So we are looking at a sustainable organization, and we are very much committed to providing the sustainable solutions to our customers. So today, these are the things which I will be covering in this session. So how the power demand has been there, increase in last 1 decade. What is mission net zero? Why we should go for solar? Few solar business models which are available. What is the renewable energy installations today as we talk in India, and talking about the top 16 states in that having more than 500 megawatt capacities. What is the update on the solar module technology that has happened in last 2 years, and a couple of case studies for the rooftop solar systems, what we have done. Last 10 years, if you talk about from 2012 to 2022, there has been increase in the demand of power by 38.6%, which demands to, on an average, if you take out, comes to around 4% per year. And the peak demand has increased by almost 50%. So peak demand, the peak demand, as you all name suggests, is the maximum demand at any given point of time. So that has increased from 135 gigawatt to 203 gigawatt. The power generation capacities have also increased during this period. So that is increased by 51.2% from 908 billion unit to 1374 billion unit. And power deficit, it has reduced. I think most of you will agree that the power cuts which you used to see maybe 10 years back, today that is very, very less. Metro cities don't have any power cuts. Even in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, the power cuts are very, very minimized. So there, it is overall done a good job has been done by the government in increasing the production of the powers, installed capacities. So we have reduced it, from 8.7% to 0.4%. So that has been, the summary of last 10 years. And now what we are talking about is, we are looking at increasing the manufacturing capacities. We are looking at Made in India concept being, term coin. We are already, listening day in and day out. We are already seeing a lot of, industrialization. The manufacturing capacities are getting added up in India. The per capita demand of the energy, each of us are consuming more. So what we were consuming 10 years back, each of us today are consuming much more. And along with the EV policy, with electrical vehicles coming in, so this demand for power is expected to increase, exponentially in the coming years. It will not be 4%. It will be much more than that. So means when we have the increase in power, we need the more power. Then how we can ensure that with the increase in power demand, we are not affecting the pollution in the environment. So without, emission of CO2 gas emission and increasing the renewable capacity generations. So that is the solution. So if I am able to, meet this increase in demand using the renewable sources of power, so I will be meeting the power demand of my customers and also without affecting the environment. So a new term net zero concept, which is primarily basically talks about sustainability only. We are talking about the sustainability of our planet. So where we don't want to increase the overall greenhouse gases or the bad gases in the atmosphere. So the greenhouse gas effect, if we talk about, is something when we talk GHG gas means we are talking about increase in the CO2 gas and the other greenhouse gases in the air. That is one of the important criteria when we talk about greenhouse gas effect. It is also global warming and climate change. Average temperatures increasing on the earth, which is resulting in extreme weather conditions. We are seeing, this year, I think many, countries have not seen the snowfall. Many countries have seen a prolonged summer season and, very extreme weather conditions, which were not very common. The rise in the ocean water level and its acidification. So these are the, ill effects of the global warming. So it is going to be a threat to human life. So that is the biggest, it is now the question of survival for the life on the earth. And with coal and fossil fuels for power generation and using petrol and diesel in the vehicles, this CO2 gas which is being produced is one of the major contributor to the greenhouse gas effect. So that is where we are all working together to reduce this impact. So net zero, when we talk about net zero, mean no further addition of CO2 gases in the atmosphere. Now this net zero starts at the country level, then it is coming down to the company level, to all the manufacturing units. So all these, all of us have to work together to see that, whatever power we are consuming, we are using, we are not increasing the CO2 gas in the atmosphere. So this is, a brief about the net zero concept. And now we talk about the 2070 last agreement of this COP 26. Our PM has committed that we will be net zero. India will be net zero by 2070. Earlier, this target was 2050. Now it is 2070. Now to reach that goal of 2070, we are talking about, maybe 45 years, 48 years from now. So that is where, these are few steps which are the commitments has been made, how we are going to achieve it. So number one is non-fossil fuel generation has to increase to 500 gigawatt. So today we are at 120 gigawatt in the renewable sector. So we are looking at 500 gigawatt by 2030. Reduction in the carbon emission by 1 billion tons. A shift from fossil fuel to electric vehicles. So already EV policies are coming up. We are seeing a lot of electrical vehicles are coming in. The use of green hydrogen. This is another, the new source of energy, which is being very, very strong, very, very potential, and also, does not harm the environment. And at the top of the pyramid is increasing, getting this net zero with solar capacity addition of 5630 gigawatt. So that is the, requirement of solar power, which is going to be there 48 years down the line, which is today, we are today sitting at maybe 70 gigawatt in India total. So we are talking about 5630 gigawatt of solar. So these are the few, milestones or few initiatives which are being taken to contribute to this sustainability and meeting this net zero. Now, why solar? Renewable energy sources are many, but why you should go for solar? So solar, first of all, you are immediately as a consumer, you are able to reduce your electricity bill when you are using a net metering. So whatever power you are, getting it from solar, you are able to offset against your electricity bill from the state distribution company. So straight away you get that benefit of that. Another advantage is the execution of solar power plants is much faster as compared to any other, conventional power plant generations. The thermal power plants used to take, couple of years. Hydro used to take maybe a decades. And now in solar, we are executing in months. Megawatt and gigawatt of plants are being installed within months. The commitment of renewable is already there from all the fronts. Also, it gives a accelerated deficit benefit to the industries. So you get 80 benefits, which is being given by the government, and you save on the taxes. It helps in reducing the carbon emission and consumption of diesel. If you use your solar along with your DG set running also, so overall you are still reducing the consumption of diesel where you don't have the grid availability. So these are the couple of advantages of using the solar power. Now, how many solar powers are there? So there are typically 3 systems of solar powers. We call it grid tied system, where the system is directly connected along with the grid. It runs in synchronization with the grid. It feeds the load and also export power to the grid in case the solar generation is more than the load requirements. Second is your off grid, where you have a battery bank system. So here the solar is being used to charge the battery and also run your load. In case of any power failure, you can run your load from a battery bank. Third is the hybrid, which is a combination of both off-grid and on-grid. This particular system has the option of feeding the batteries, also having multiple sources of power generation. It can be solar, it can be wind, it can be DG set, and then feed the load. So it works with a smart controller. So these are known as hybrid solutions, which is having more than one source of input energy. Now this is a typical diagram for a solar power plant, where you have a solar system, solar modules installed, then you have solar inverter connected in your any plant or a residential house with the grid, with your main LT panel, where the solar power is being used, whatever is being produced is being consumed in feeding the load. In case you have got excess power and you have the net metering installed, So you can export that extra power to the grid. And in the monthly bill, you get that reduction from the distribution company. So these are the typical SLD diagram of a solar power plant. And this particular plant can be installed, let us say, as small as 1 kilowatt and go up to megawatts. So that is the scalability of solar and advantage depending on the roof space area. So the benefits are reducing your cost of power, the faster return on investment. Within 4 to 5 years, you get your, whatever you have invested, you get the savings within that 4 to 5 years. And in the long term, you save money for the business expansion, for your increasing your business if you are into business, and also contribute to the climate change while meeting the renewable commitments. So these are the few advantages of using solar energy. So whenever you are going to install a solar system, the few basic checklists, the first and what you should be knowing when you plan to install for a solar plant. First of all, it should be a shadow-free area. So sunlight should be coming here from morning, from sunlight to dusk to dawn. So whereas there is no shadow. And in India, the module should be, installed facing south because sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So when you install modules in the south facing, so the maximum solar energy is received by the modules during the year when they are having a south direction. And also the tilt angle of the module, it depends on the latitude angle of the geographical location where you are installing. So whatever is the latitude angle, the tilt angle should be close to that. So you get a better generation from it. And also the kind of, cable sizing and other things depending on the length and the size of the plant. So these are the few things which are very, very common. And once you putting up your plant, you should have be, sure that these parameters are being met by your installer or by the company who is providing you the solution. A 1 kilowatt system typically needs around 8 to 9 square meter, or you can say 80 square feet of shadow-free area, a 1 kilowatt system. So depending on that, you can see how much system you can install at the available rooftop. Now, when you install a solar system, there are two types of metering available. One is known as net metering, other is known as gross metering. So net metering is the most advantage, metering system for the consumer, where whatever power you are producing or you are exporting to the grid, so straight away that units get reduced in your monthly billing. So you get full return on whatever cost you are paying to the distribution company, so you get compensated by the same amount. Whereas in gross metering, the adjustment is done as per the tariff of solar power being purchased by the state government during that year. So normally gross metering is well applicable for the industrial customers, and all residential customers are covered under net metering. And as per the latest policy from the central government, up to 500 kilowatt, so they have permitted net metering for the industrial customers as well. So it's a very, very good policy, and the ROI is very, very fast. So net metering basically calculates the difference in the energy exported and energy consumed. While in gross metering, you only you export all the solar power and import all the power required by you. At the end, the distribution company will only adjust at the rate of solar power. So just for example, today if we talk about the industrial customer is buying a normal power at 8 rupees per watt per unit. So in net metering, he gets compensated by 8 rupees only. While in gross metering, if the power tariff of that particular state is, let us say, 3 rupees per unit, so we will get compensated by 3 rupees per unit instead of 8 rupees. So another solution for solar is zero export with on-grid system. Suppose you don't want to export anything or you are not allowed to export power beyond a particular point. So then you can use a solar zero export device. It will help you in using whatever power you need from the solar. And in case any holiday or at any given point of time, your load is less than the power being produced by solar. So the zero export device will not allow the export of power. It will limit the generation of solar system. So it will restrict the generation of solar power so that no export is being done. So this is being used mainly for the industrial customers and after due diligence and the calculations of the entire system. So this is where, most of the industrial customers, the large industrial customers definitely, would like to go for this because they are not, 500 kilowatt is not sufficient for them. So there are three parameters which determine the rooftop solar power system. One is the electricity bill, how much units you are consuming every month. a 1 kilowatt system will typically give you 1200 to 1500 units per year. So which means depending on the geographical location, if you are, let us say, in the states of Rajasthan, MP, Gujarat, where the sun radiations are very good, so you can have almost 1500 units per year. But if you are in the states where the sunlight is not that good, irradiance is not that high, especially in the northeast, northern part, or maybe down south, so certain areas the power generation may be less. So you can consider 1200 to 1500 units. And how much space is available, shadow-free space available. So 1 kilowatt system, you can consider around 80 square feet space is needed. So whatever is the shadow-free area available where you can install solar. So based on that, you can divide it by 80, you will calculate how much kilowatt of system can be installed. And the local distribution company policy. So whether the distribution company allows for net metering, if they allow, then up to what quantity of solar they are allowing. Some states allow 100% of your connected load, some states allow 80%, some states allow 90%. So based on that, you have to select the right solution suitable for you. So these are the three basic parameters when you look for designing of your solar system. Now these are the top 17 states who are having renewable energy installed capacity of more than 500 megawatt. So here, if you go through these states from 1 to 17, starting from Rajasthan and going up to West Bengal, so you will find that this is something which is spread out across the country. So you have states from north, south, east, west. From all the parts of the country, you have these generations, which is being led by Rajasthan, being the top state. Today, it's the #1 state with over 20 gigawatt of total RE capacity installed, and out of which 15.6 gigawatt is only solar. So out of 70 gigawatt of solar installed, so we can say around 16 to 17 gigawatt is only in Rajasthan. And another important input which is coming from this sheet is that solar power installation is being done across the country because the solar radiations are available across the country. So unlike wind, where wind can be more popular and more useful on the coastal areas where you have got good wind pressures, they cannot be installed at everywhere. But solar can be installed everywhere. It can be installed on a rooftop, on a land-based project, on any geographical location of the country. So that makes the solar much and more powerful tool or powerful source of renewable energy. Now coming on the new technologies, what has happened in the last 2 years? Earlier, the solar modules were coming with full cells. Now, last 2 years back, the half-cut technology came into existence, and last year, India shifted to this technology in half-cut cells. So most of the manufacturing which is happening today in India of solar modules is with half-cut cells. So that is a new technology that has come. The shift from polycrystalline to monocrystalline is another shift which has happened in last few years. So poly was there for last 7-8 years. Poly was dominating the market. But with the increase in efficiency of the cells with monoPERC technology, so now monoPERC is getting more prominence day by day. So the share of monoPERC is increasing gradually, and it will take over poly almost in this year. Another change in technology is about bifacial modules. So far the modules have been used for getting power generating from the front side of the module, where the sunlight is falling on the face of the module and the electricity is being generated from that sunlight. While with the bifacial module, it is also taking advantage of the reflected light from the back of the module. So whatever module light sunlight is getting reflected. So these bifacial modules are taking that benefit of that reflected light as well, and you get extra gain is available, and you can generate extra power from the same area. Now the module ratings, which earlier used to be 250 watt peak, 300 watt peak, 330 watt peak, now reached 400 watt peak 2 years back. Now today we are talking about 500 to 600 watt peak modules, and next year we are likely to see a 700 watt peak modules coming up. So the size of the modules and the rating of the modules are also increasing. So that is another shift happening on the modules technology. Now, other than that, storage and hybrid solutions are also catching up very fast to take, because all the solar power is getting produced during the daytime. While your load may not be there daytime, load will be there in the evening hours also. To keep that balance, that whatever extra power you are producing during the day from solar, you are able to store it and use it in the evening hours when you have peak power. So that is where the storage and hybrid solutions are going to play a balancing role in the entire value chain for power distribution. This is a module technology development which has happened in the last couple of years. If you see, just for the benefit of everybody, just see at the cell size. The cell size was in 2002 was 125 mm, the size of the cell. This curve is mainly, the size of the cell is increasing. Today we are talking about 180 to 210 mm size cell. So that is the real change in technology which has happened. Apart from monoper, the size of the cell has also increased, which has helped in having a more output per cell and having a more output per module. So when we talk about half-cut technology, why half-cut technology is getting more popular? Those from the engineering background would be knowing that we have always heard about I square R losses. So higher is the current, more are the losses. So basically, what happens when we cut a solar cell into two parts? So the current is divided into half. So if let us say my full cell is having a current of 10 ampere, so if I cut it into half, so my each half cell will have a current of 5 ampere. Voltage will remain same. So when I connect these cells in the module, so I connect 72 half-cut cells in one series and 72 half-cut in the other series. So each cell is only having 5 ampere current flowing through it. So means I'm able to reduce the current to half. So due to this, my I square R losses inside the module and in the cell they reduce. So that helps in having that extra efficiency and extra gain. So that is why half-cut cells technology with the higher size of cells are the most popular and are being used as a standard now because of this better efficiency feature. Now, keeping in the latest trend, Jackson is known for its innovation in coming up with the latest technology. So we launched our Helia PV modules with half-cut cells in 2021. We were the first company to launch this, first Indian company to launch this 600 watt peak module in India, and the first company who got it BIS certification done last year in February. So we got our BIS in February 22, and we started this production and supplies from March 2022. So this is the best-in-class efficiency next-gen series of modules, where we have the module efficiency going up to 21.5%, which is the best in its class. So this is all using half-cut cells, half-cut cell technology, where I can offer module from 440 watt peak up to 600 watt peak. So that is the entire range of modules which are available, which can number of cells in all these models. So all these modules are IC and BS certified. We also have got UL certification. We are now exporting these modules for US market as well. Now, Jackson Group, as our core value is sustainability. So we have a very strong presence in the sustainable energy solutions. So we are into solar module manufacturing, where we have our own solar power plant at Greater Noida for module manufacturing of 600 megawatt, which we are expanding to 1.1 gigawatt. We are into solar EPC. We do the entire turnkey EPC projects for our customers, whether it's a 100 kilowatt rooftop system or a 200 megawatt or a 500 megawatt or a 1 gigawatt land-based power project. So we do entire EPC solutions for solar. We also do solar O&M operation and maintenance for the plants which are being installed and commissioned by us or may not be commissioned by us. We do O&M for services to our customers so that their plants, whatever they have installed, they give them the best output. And we also having the solar IPP. As an independent power producer, we have our own power plants where we are selling power as a developer to the different state governments. And latest we added in this is last year, green hydrogen and storage. So as I told you, green hydrogen is one of the upcoming technologies, and we believe in going for sustainable solutions and the latest technology. So we started this green hydrogen division last year. Now Jackson Green Company has been formed, where we are very strongly working on the new and sustainable technology along with the storage solutions. So this is something which we are very much consistently working on the sustainability. Just a case study. I think I have got 2, 3, 4 minutes. One case study just for the benefit of all how it actually works. So this particular site is one of our customers in Maharashtra, where this particular plant is 400 kilowatt, 380 watt peak module were used at that point of time, and Jackson make modules were used. Complete plant was designed and commissioned by us. So here the customer was able to save energy bill of 50 lakhs per year. and the customer was so satisfied and happy with this installation that after that we got 10 more orders for their other different plants. So this particular it's a reliable and proven technology now. So where if you install the design it properly, install it properly, and maintain it properly, so you get the desired results. So this is the monthly generation report of this particular 400 kilowatt site for 1 year, March 21 to February 22. So you can see during a couple of months when there is a rainy season or the sunlight is not very good, so it has gone below 40,000 units. Otherwise, it has been giving consistently 42, 44, even in the extreme good climatic conditions in March and April, up to 55,000 units from a 400 kilowatt plant. So this is one of the case study, but this is with net metering. So any extra power being produced is being exported to the grid. Now this is another project of 2 gigawatt, which is installed in Ghaziabad, where 400 watt peak monoPERC module is used. Now, this particular site is not having a net metering feature because UP government was not allowing net metering since 2018-19. So this particular customer had no option but to go solar without net metering. So here we have installed the system with zero export device. So this is a forging unit where the entire plant runs 24/7, and they are very happy. They started with 1 megawatt. Today they are having three megawatt of installation at their roof. So where complete O&M also is being done by Jackson. So this is a photograph of this, particular plant on the forging unit. So we do, monthly, we'll do 2 cleaning cycles every 15 days. The cleaning of the modules are done. So this is again the, generation report of this particular plant, which is being monitored through the remote monitoring system, and our engineer is also there at site on daily and monthly basis. So the key takeaways, what I would like to share with you, that sustainable energy is the need of the hour, and all the growth in the demand has to come from it, and where renewable portfolio is going to play a major role. And in that, solar will definitely be contributing the highest. Today, out of 120 gigawatt of total RE installation, 60 plus gigawatt is solar. It's already more than 50%, and very shortly it will be more than 70-75% of the total RE energy mix. With the improved efficiency and of products and solutions which we are offering, we are able to provide a better solution to the customers. We are one-stop solution to our customers for all their energy needs, and we all need to work together in making the environment better and sustainable for the future generation. So it's a commitment from all of us. So as a user, as a buyer, as a customer, as a supplier, as a manufacturer, everybody has a role to play. Then only as a country we can meet our mission net zero. So that's all from my side. And these are the, our toll-free numbers, our email ID, our website. So you are welcome to visit our websites. You can go through about Jackson Group, where you can learn more about it, contact us through the toll-free number, or maybe write to us. So we'll be glad to, answer to any of your queries or any kind of support needed from any energy solutions from Jackson. So that's all from my side. Open to you for any question and answer session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Mr. Ram, any question?
So we don't have any relevant question at the moment, sir.
Okay. Can we open to audience for the question answer? Anybody's any question?
I have a question to Mr. Arya.
Yes, sir.
Arya sir, first of all, thank you very much for a very elaborate and crisp kind of a presentation. In fact, I'm a little more interested in knowing how do you say that half cell modules would give better stability, you mean? When you were talking,
it will not be better stability. What I was telling you, my output, suppose I'm using a full cell module. So if I'm getting, let us say the output of that module is 540 watt peak. So if I'm using a half cut cell, so I'm able to reduce the I square losses inside the module. So instead of 540, I would be getting maybe a 5-6 watt peak extra power from the same module. So I'll be able to get a better output because my internal losses within the module I am able to reduce.
Okay. But will that not really also support sort of hotspots and things like that, they would also be reduced to some extent, isn't it?
No, another advantage of this half cut is not hotspot. If I take you to that particular slide where you have seen the modules, there is a in the center there is a strip. So that is basically a dividing line between the two circuits. So that module is having a two circuit where just a minute, let me show you that photograph.
PB, you are on mute, completely on mute all through.
Okay.
And I think Aryasa was showing his slide.
No, now slide is visible.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
how it is visible. Yes.
So this center line, what you are able to see in the module, it is basically a dividing line. There are two circuits. So in this particular module of 555 watt peak, the upper this is a 144 cell module where 72 cells, half cut cells are above this half line and 72 cells are below this half line. So one option is I make a 72 full cell module, which will also give me maybe a 5 watt peak less, and it will also work. But here the another advantage is if I am having any partial shading, suppose any of the cell at the top or the bottom is having any partial shading coming at any point of time during the day. So the 50% of the module will still continue to give its full output. While in a full cell module, if any cell is having any kind of shadow, it will affect the entire module operation. So that is another advantage of this technology. It helps, if you see the third point, excellent performance under partial shading conditions. 4th point. So this is something which is because of this half-cut technology.
I think it's a very, very innovative idea, and I must compliment Jackson Group to use this. Thank you very much for this information.
Okay, thank you.
Any other participant would like to ask any question? It's a clear industry view as to what is happening in solar rather than what we normally keep on reading in our books and teaching our people. This is what industry is doing, even to save a few watts or maybe add a few watts. Over to you, PB.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I think none of one is.
We have one question in the chat box, and I'll direct it to Mr.
Okay.
Arya. The question says it's from Hrithik Gupta. Can the future of India in power can only be sustained on solar energy?
That is the aim, that is the vision, that is the mission we are working on. Of course, it cannot happen like this. We have to have a mix of energy sources. So everything cannot be only renewable. But yes, we are moving towards that. So going forward, like presently the fossil fuels what we are talking about is going to be there. We are not adding more fossil fuel plants, but the addition is much less, and it is going to continue in the energy mix in the coming few decades. But yes, as we move forward and we get more alternative sources, we would like to be going towards the renewable sources in the long run. But it may not happen in the next couple of decades. But yes, the share of renewable is continuously going on increasing year on year.
And within the share of renewable, of course, there'll be various energy sources,
Yes.
solar being one, and wind and hydrogen and so forth. Yeah.
Right.
Areza, what is your take on green hydrogen?
So green hydrogen.
How do you compare pure solar future vis-a-vis green hydrogen coming into the play?
See, green hydrogen is nothing but producing hydrogen using solar energy or maybe renewable source of energy.
Right.
So hydrogen is a component. Hydrogen is a gas which is very critical for few of the industrial processes. So so far that is being produced, whether it's steel plants or the fertilizer plants. It is being produced using the conventional power from the fossil fuels. So the idea of is that meeting that demand of hydrogen and creating that producing hydrogen using the solar power. So that is green hydrogen. So green hydrogen, presently the cost of this hydrogen is much higher. So therefore, government is coming up with specific projects where they are putting some investments also, and this technology is going to take up. But with the fuel cells coming going forward in the mobility sector, so there are a lot of applications of hydrogens which are going to come. So of course, it is just I would say it's just initial phase of hydrogen as we talk about. So it will be couple of years before it actually comes into the commercial way in a very cost-effective solution, and it will come down. The cost of hydrogen is definitely going to come down the way solar has come down. So solar modules, people have purchased at 100 rupees per watt.
We all know that Jackson is also now moving to green hydrogen,
Yes.
and you have Jackson Green as a separate company, and huge investments are coming from Jackson in the green hydrogen. Do you also see the possibility of Jackson generators moving to hydrogen?
Jackson generators, but I think that is where, to be honest with you, I'm not from the generator team. I need to check. But as far as my knowledge is concerned, yes, along with our OEM partner Cummins, we are definitely working on the sustainable alternate solution of fuel, which can be used and which can be less polluting in the atmosphere. So things are going at the back end. R&D is being done on that. But so far, I'm not really updated. Radhika ji, you have any update on this new technology?
So as like you rightly said, Vikas, they are not really going to go in the hydrogen gensets as such, but whatever solution they would come out with would be less non-polluting and would be meeting the emission norms, whatever are the newer norms that would happen. But hydrogen gensets ka as such, abhi short term mein there is no plan.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Any other question?
So I think we can take this last question, and Arya, so this is for you. I'll just rephrase it. What is Jackson's future plan specifically with solar department? So this is what the question is from Harshit, if I'm not wrong. Harsh.
Okay. Solar mein Jackson, we are very much clear. We are increasing our manufacturing capacities for solar modules. We are increasing our presence in the complete solutions to our customers, and also we are going outside India now. We are exploring international market. We have done few projects globally, but we would be increasing our presence in the global footprint as well, starting exports of modules to US and Europe market. We have recently taken orders from. Ma'am, we have taken this big order from Saudi.
Yes, Saudi Arabia. Yes.
So we have taken one big.
Yeah.
So we are going global, and as far as Indian is concerned, India we are already one of the renowned and players, and we want to continue with that position what we have and strengthen it further by providing our cost-effective and reliable solutions to the customers. So in the solar, we are continuing to increase our presence in manufacturing as well as EPC and also O&M. All the three portfolios will be growing.
Including for laymen, we also do residential SRT, solar rooftop solutions. So of course we do that through our channel partners, but that is something which we are also involved in, commercial SRT also. So it's not only land-based, but SRT solutions also. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
There is a hands up, Om Dev.
Om Dev Shankar. Mr. Ram, can you give permission to Mr. Om Dev?
So he has the permission now.
Okay. Mr. Om Dev, please ask your question. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, please ask your question.
I think there is some question, confusion there. That leads me to one more question, frankly speaking, Vikas ji. And the question relates to very much to Skill Council for Green Jobs as to how you are meeting your manpower requirements, and where do you see the role of Skill Council for Green Jobs, your chairman being our chairman, so we should definitely have some good synergy in that. That is one. And are you also planning to have some training centers, or maybe support some educational institutions or ITIs under your CSR support, to make them as a center of excellence for training the people in solar as well as green hydrogen? Any thought on that?
I think we have Radhika ji heading our CSR, portfolio. She is heading the CSR, and also training is something which definitely we are very clear about, and where Radhika ji is herself leading this, right from our, not only for our existing team as well as the new joinees. So on the skill training, what has happened, sir, in last a lot of things have been initiated in Jackson on the training of the existing and the recruitment of new manpower, including our team at the plant. So who are there as we expanded, we had the requirements of new skilled manpower. So of course the skilled manpower were not easily available. So we have trained on the job many of the fresh ITIs and fresh diploma holders, and we have given them training at the plant. And also we have a batch of fresh GET trainees who are there working with Jackson right now. So I think Radhika ji would be the right person to put more thought on it. And a lot of initiatives are being taken at Jackson. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Vikas. Thanks. So multiple things. Can I get your name again, please?
I'm Dr. Saxena.
Hi. Yeah. Sorry, Dr. Saxena. I think I'm not being introduced to you so far. Yeah. So multiple things. As far as our take on, what Skill Council is doing as far as the solar training for your people is concerned, and how can we leverage this opportunity and hire few of them with us. Probably this is something which we need to look at it very seriously, because of course both the things are now linked. CSR has also come under my portfolio, so I'll be really happy if some of them, if we can tie hands, and definitely we have our talent needs from the energy space, from the solar space. But the question is, I seriously want to see, of course, the curriculum, what you guys are really teaching as far as the solar trades are concerned, and what is the quality of students. We are quite open to freshers. Like Vikas told, we are hiring ITIs also in our manufacturing plants. We are doing diploma trainees, we are doing GETs. Our philosophy, our talent philosophy is, we hire them fresh, train them in our company, and move up the talent. So we want to increase this talent funnel, so that we are able to, in a long run, be able to meet our talent needs. Having said that, we will really need to look at what you are teaching, what is the syllabus, and where all it can suit. So few things which are directly coming to my mind is, of course, solar O&M, where we need people who can maintain the solar plants and all of that. That is there. Then manufacturing plant, maybe if you have people who can be on our so ours is a completely automatic line. So if they can be there on the solar line, we can look at that. But everything will depend on what is the curriculum being taught to them and how is the quality of the students. But we'll be quite open to have an intake there. In terms of you guys doing some trainings for our employees, if there could be a tie-up like that, even that can be done. There we would need a kind of a customized module. And then what kind of facilitators are there who can even train our employees? I mean, the technical training. So we can definitely work, and there is an intent to work on that. We'll be more than happy to, liaison and work on it.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. PB, you are on mute.
Sorry, sir. Mr. Ram, any question?
So we do have two last questions, but keeping time to consideration, should we go ahead with that?
Yeah, you ask one more at least.
Okay, so it's specific to Jackson, and Mr. Arya or Radhika ma'am may answer. So do Jackson plan on investing in R&D, cell manufacturing, and reduce dependency on China? And this can be mixed with a question that how can India limits import of raw material for PV module manufacturing from China?
Coming to the, on the solar cells, we do have plans to come into the solar cell manufacturing in the coming couple of years. But right now the technology is changing very fast. So we are just, keeping a wait and watch right now on the solar cells. But solar modules, definitely we are expanding. And on the imports, you rightly said our dependency on imports is very, very high as a country. And as at Jackson, what we are doing is, we are very clearly and slowly and gradually, we are increasing our sourcing from the Indian manufacturers who are expanding and who are providing materials in India of the high quality after due diligence and testing. If we are meeting all the technical requirements, so we are slowly and gradually we are increasing our share from Indian purchases, at a regular basis. And what I see, with the government initiatives and with the increasing manufacturing in India, so maybe this will be addressed to an extent maybe in next 2 years' time. It will take some 2 years that our dependency will reduce maybe to 50% or maybe less than that. But still, it will not come to nil in next 2 years. It is a journey of around 4 to 8 years. Today also we had a call with the senior officers in government where they are looking at the policies, how it can be implemented. But yes, we are very closely, working on it to have more dependency or more procurement from our Indian companies, Indian manufacturers. That is our first preference.
Thank you, sir. I think that concludes our Q&A. May I hand it over to Radhika ma'am for the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you everyone. I think this is the first time, I'm on some platform, I am asked to give vote of thanks. Wonderful. I am very happy to be part of this forum. To the students who are available on the call, I saw a lot of you saying ki Hindi mein baat karo. So I would like to say it's a harsh world outside. Okay, you are just getting into the career mode. Hindi is good. Hindi hamari matrabhasha hai. But unfortunately, fortunately, in the business world, if you really want to succeed और अगर बड़ा करियर बनाना चाहते हैं तो इंग्लिश आनी जरूरी है. और अभी इतनी यंग एज में प्लीज डोंट रेजिस्ट इंग्लिश. आई वुड लाइक टू से दैट. ओके, it is good to be proud of Hindi because that is our mother tongue. But it is not good to not like any other language. बिकॉज चाहे या नहीं चाहे, आज नहीं तो कल अगर आपको अपने करियर में ग्रो करना है तो आपको इंग्लिश सीखनी ही पड़ेगी. सो व्हाई नॉट नाउ, राइट? सो मेक श्योर दैट एवरी डे यू मेक अ स्मॉल प्रोग्रेस एंड अलोंग विद द
Probably have lost the internet connection. Things are, can you check online over a call?
Mr. Abhishek, can you
अभिषेक
check?
आप देखो.
Abhishek,
Just allow me a moment.
Yeah.
I think there is an internet issue with her. So, Singh sir, please you
We
carry
can
on.
probably close today's session once again. Thank you very much.
Sir, your voice is not audible. I think you are on mute.
now is okay.
भी आप conclude कर दो.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for your excellent presentation. Hope all the participants are get knowledge. Once again, thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank all the participants for participating the webinar and listening carefully. Thank you all. Thank you, Vikas sir.
Okay.
Tekji.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Saxena sir, and the entire audience for listening.
Thank you, Arya ji. Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Ram,
much, sir.
Be in touch.
for your support.
Yeah. Okay.
Of
Bye-bye.
course.
Thank you, everyone.